Let's go, baby. Let's do this one. Most potential, most wasted. Um, most potential.
Some
I
hard
have a
truths here.
few.
Yeah.
I have a few, and my number one, and go kick rocks. Chris Masters. It was just that. I mean, the whole aspect of what he was trying to do was just phenomenal. And it was just the time where, okay, muscle, we don't want anymore. We want more like Eddie. We want more like Benoit. We want more like, what we see now with the Brian Danielsons. A little smaller, maybe not so bulky after the Roid Rage era.
Right, right, right,
And
right.
we wanted to transition. So, they brought him back, and he was big, and we knew it, and we
Yeah.
knew he was on roids, but it was just the
Different kind of
entrance.
roids, though.
It,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just like the entrance. It was just he brought back the oh shit, Master Lock.
The
Give me
Master Lock
what's
Challenge. The
yeah,
full Nelson. Full Nelson.
Full
Full
Nelson,
Nelson.
yeah, which
Yeah.
I loved, and I still love to
Hell
this
yeah.
day because it's just the way he did it too. The ragdoll kind of aspect to it
Yep.
was just cool. I don't know why. I just the way I don't know what it was. I dug it. And then when I think he went to rehab or he was suspended or something. He came back and he was great, man. And he was just doing every superstar show you could do, after or before Raw and SmackDown. And it was just what you wanted. And then of course they let him go. But he's probably number one for me. I mean, I got a
Okay.
few obvious ones, but I want to hear yours first, and then we can just run down some of the obvious. But this category, Keith, most potential. Let's hear it.
Yeah, well, no. So I agree with you with Masters. I would almost put Masters in most wasted potential because he
Oh yeah,
should have had so much more than he didn't,
yeah.
unfortunately. But either way, whatever. So for me, I put three names down for most potential. They're all kind of current people because I kind of looked at it that way of like
Yeah,
who
it's
has
hard
the
not
potential
to.
and is active, and who has the potential, but that needs to that who has the potential that need to capitalize for them so they don't become the wasted potential. Um, these are in no real particular order. One of them, first woman I'm going to name on the list, in the best way you all already know, it's Jordan Grace. Huge potential. She's phenomenal. Glad she's getting TV time. She has nowhere to go but up. Obafemi, obviously,
Yeah,
that guy is a future multi-time world champion. If you don't think that, or if they don't do that, they're insane. And then kind of a dark horse one that
let's hear it.
I hesitated even putting him on here, but Joe Gacy, um, I was a big fan of him on the Indies, CZW, and all that kind of stuff. And then
Yeah,
when he got to WWE and started out with like the weird, like kind of safe space friendly character and all, and then the schism stuff, I'm like, dude, what are you guys doing to him? Like, this isn't
yeah,
it. But he's really good in the ring, and I was always, even when I was like, this isn't it, I don't know what this is. I was still just like, all right, he's still
yeah,
wrestling real cool. So like, he's a great in ring worker. He's part of the Wyatt Six now, hoping for the best still, but yeah, a lot of potential in him.
yeah,
He's awesome. Um, so yeah, they're my three. Like I said, no real order. I mean, maybe Jordan
yeah,
Grace over all of them because I'm in love, but we'll see.
yeah. I think I looked at it a little differently. I did
Yeah,
who I thought had the most potential.
I got you. That's fine, man.
Yeah, so I did. I have a few more. I have Mr. Kennedy. I thought he had a lot of
He
potential,
was on my wasted potential
but
list.
you could also go wasted too.
Yeah, you're fine.
Carlito, I think, is up there too. I think he had so much potential.
Yeah, yeah,
The promos kicked ass. It was different. We've never seen somebody do that. We've never seen someone spit apple. And just the backcracker was a kick ass finishing move, and he had it in his blood. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what the deal was. I know he tagged with Masters and he did his own thing after that and before that, but it just seemed like I don't know. I don't know what it was.
yeah.
There's going to be an A&E documentary soon about him. I guarantee it. But um, uh, I'm going to save the other guy for most wasted because now thinking about it, I think it was wasted. But yeah, I got Kennedy, Carlito, Chris Masters. I
Yeah,
just
man.
think there was something with them they could have done with. done, I don't know. I know the stories about what they did and, drugs, and seems like that followed a lot of these guys. Maybe not Carlito.
Right.
Maybe with him, it was more of he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, I heard with him it was. I feel like all the stuff with him when he got released was a lot of like reports coming out that like
Lazy.
he was like lazy and didn't want to like do
Yep.
the shows and
That
do the
makes
stuff and
sense.
everything. Which
Yep.
you know, to each their own.
Yep. All
But
right, baby.
yeah,
Most wasted. Let's go.
this one was
Let's
like
hear it.
this was one I only have 5 names written down, but like this is one I could have sat here.
Yep.
We could have done an entire
Yep.
hour long stream just talking about this.
The entire SmackDown roster in like 2016.
Right? Yeah. Oh my god.
Let's hear
But
it.
so I narrowed it down again. These aren't in any specific kind of order.
Narrowed.
The first name that popped into my head looking at this, literally the first one that I wrote down, and I'll keep it as I guess he's my number one for it, but whatever. Monty Brown slash Marcus Corvon. Marcus
Good.
Corvon he wasn't even that big. He wasn't even in ECW that long for like him to even really be a thing. I just wrote that just in case people didn't understand the name Monty Brown, but Monty Brown and TNA. I mean, anyone when you see TNA highlights, you see that video of the dude who tight ropes the cage and friggin' Hurricane Rana is all that's
Yes,
Monty
you do.
Brown. Like the pounce, yeah, that exists because of him. Like
Yeah.
he's the biggest. Like I feel like he is one of if not the biggest like what ifs in like modern wrestling history, because I know everyone always talks about the biggest what if being like Magnum TA because of the car accident and all back in the day. But like, dude, like the guy was insane in the ring. I mean,
Yeah.
even that if that tightrope walk across the cage into the nice, that doesn't sell you. Just look at other stuff he's done. Like he's an
Yeah.
incredible athlete. He's so
That's a
good.
good one.
Big waste of potential there. Wade Barrett, which is a tough one because like I know he did achieve some stuff.
Yeah.
He did, he had the Intercontinental run.
King
I
of
think he
Ring.
was at Nexus, all that. Good. I feel like as
Could have been
the
more.
first, yeah, like he could have and probably should have been so much more, just
Yeah.
for his everything, his aura. He cut a decent promo for being like an English person, which like I know during his time that was like a big thing of like accents weren't in for the old man and everything. So like maybe that was what held him back. But like I think he had a ton of upside and they just didn't utilize it enough.
Good theme too.
Totally, all of them.
Boom.
Exactly.
Before Big AJ or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, yeah, big boom AJ and Big Justice, whatever. The Costco kids. Other one, tag team, so maybe that doesn't count. Maybe it's not as good, whatever. But Grizzled Young Veterans, specifically in WWE when they got put in there.
Yes.
They're another one. I loved them on the Indies. I was at that. They were at that Progress show. They lost the Progress
Oh,
tag titles to
cool.
CCK at that event, and just you talk about like we were talking before about just like like getting heat, and I'm getting good heat. I'm getting good heat. They get the best heat. Zach Gibson
Yeah.
he's made to be a heel. And even when he was in, like even when it was the schism and all that, I was still like, this is weird. He's not like
Yeah.
talking as much as he should,
Eyeballs
but
and
like,
shit.
yeah, like,
That threw me off. Yeah.
but then like when they turned toward the end, and it was like, it was cool like they were turning to break away from it, but it was like I was stoked for that to happen, not because I wanted to see face GYV. It was because I was just like sick. Get the hell out of there. Start coming out talking about how you're,
Yeah.
soon to be recognized. Just they're incredible. They had it's so much wasted potential, specifically in WWE. They're still going now. They're still doing their thing. I think AEW is actually kind of wasting them too, but whatever. But they're incredible. Big wasted potential in WWE. And
Oh
then
yeah.
Kennedy, we already talked about. And then
Canada.
last one, really for me, kind of like a throwaway one, and hoping it can turn around. But it's Carmelo Hayes, honestly, right now.
Wow.
Just dude,
Yeah. I could see it.
NXT Carmelo Hayes compared to main roster Carmelo Hayes are
Night and day.
night
Yep.
and day. They're like
Yeah.
night and day.
Yeah.
They're night and day dipped apples and oranges, like or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to get at there. Just like
Yeah. That's
it's
a new one.
ridiculous to me. like how you I mean, Jesus, man. I know it's a
Yeah.
different fan base for NXT and like there's talk of like there's plants there or whatever and whatnot or whatever, but like you presented him as just this like super cool him. He's the what was the one takeover when he came out with just the H and then he was the I and then an M
Oh,
hanging off
dude,
that
that
one
was
to
sick.
be, like
Yep.
Jesus, man, like and especially for me because he really turned me around. Like when he first debuted, I was like, this guy's whack. When he first came up as like a baby face, I was like, I hate this guy. He's annoying as hell. I
Yeah.
don't like him. And then once he turned heel, I was like, oh my god, this is the best. He's got nowhere to go but up. And then they brought him to the main roster, and I'm like, what the hell? Look what they did to my boy. Like, look
Yeah.
how they massacred my boy. And like, hopefully they'll right the ship. But I mean, as it is right now, it's even if they write it, it's still wasted potential from what he had. He had so much momentum coming up, and then you just now he's what? What is he doing now? Like, is he on speed? I think maybe he's on WWE speed occasionally.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're my wasted.
Yeah.
Who you got?
So these, I got three that are similar to Barrett. I'm just going to name them.
Yeah.
Rude, Wyatt, and Rusev. They all had success. We know that. But it just
Yes.
seemed like with all of those careers,
Yes.
it could have been more. Kind of like Ziggler, it could have been more, but it wasn't. Rude was glorious in NXT, and then I don't know what happened. Maybe he wanted an in, and maybe he thought maybe it's time to hang it up, and he's supposedly doing really well backstage.
Hmm.
Wyatt, I know he's had matches at WrestleMania with legendary Hall of Famers. It just seems like maybe there could have been more, and it could have
Definitely.
been different, as
Yes.
in like successful, I guess. And
Yes.
then Rusev again, Cena, Mania, Tank. I mean, can't get much bigger than that. And it just even the high of Rusev Day. I mean, I was at one of the shows in Philly, and every single person had a Rusev Day shirt on.
Oh yeah.
Now you couldn't even. I mean, it's just impossible. I don't even
He's
know what
nowhere.
he's doing right now.
Exactly.
But I
He's like
think,
they're talking about. I think he's trying. He's
yeah,
talking about maybe retiring in general.
yeah.
Waiting for
Now
this contract with AEW to end up.
he had success with ECW, I know, but I'm looking. I did just WWE,
Yeah.
and I thought Raven had it was just wasted. I think the type of character he was is probably better now, like a Darby Allin, a little more darker, a little more chaotic, a little more hardcore. It just I don't know. I don't know if it was the transition from WCW or ECW, and it just didn't. We didn't know what to do with him, or he
Yeah.
was just Raven. Like okay, throw him in. We'll do some heat matches. We'll do some house shows. That's it. But I
Yeah.
just everything the Raven effect,
Yeah.
even the music,
Yeah.
the just he
That's
was
a
great.
that's a
He's
great
up
call.
there. He's up there in
Absolutely.
right. He's very underrated in the ring. I'll
For
say
sure.
that. I don't know. I just thought they could have had not a Brian Pillman s because Raven was Raven,
Yeah.
but he could have been more.
No,
Damn
but
it.
yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's just like I was just talking about with Raven. It's a very similar thing like I was just talking about with Carmelo Hayes. Like
Yeah.
You look at ECW Raven, and you look at WCW Raven, or WWE Raven, or even WCW Raven,
Yeah.
and it's night and day. Um,
Oh yeah.
Raven, friggin' ECW Raven, brainwashed Sandman's wife and son, and had his son beat Sandman with a friggin' Singapore cane. Like,
Yeah.
dude. And I think it really is with him. Um, maybe there's like some personal demon stuff going on or whatever, and
Yeah.
issues there and whatnot, and that's its own
Yeah.
thing. But like I also think a big part with him was it was just like once he got to like WWE, it was just like they didn't know
What
like
to do?
what to do with that on such a national kind of platform, you know?
And again, it's similar to like Bray. I mean, they knew what to do
Exactly.
with the New Orleans gimmick, Louisiana gimmick.
Right.
But when it
But
came
the
to like
rest of
that
it,
freaky
yeah.
shit, and again, you look at it and you say maybe he had more creative control than
Yeah.
we wanted him to, and maybe he, vice versa. Raven had some demons, but it's just
Yeah.
wasted. I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, Rude and Rusev are really good calls. Bray is too, but Bray, I feel like he's more of just
His
it's
own worst
wasted
enemy.
because of how it ended. Like it's such a shame
Oh,
that like
yes.
we got cut off there. But yeah, no, I'm with you.